At theraces.com, Cheltenham Preview, sponsored by Ladbrokes.com.
You've done the right thing logging on. We'll all be nursing hangovers after the first day as we move on to day 2. And it is, of course, the BALLYMORE properties. Now, Andrew Thornton thinks he's got a certainty here, so we'll get that off him in a few moments' time. But let's go to the betting booth and get all the details with Matt Chapman.
Thanks, Luke. This is a great race. I love this race. Formerly, of course, the Royal and Sun Alliance Novices Hurdle, and the mighty Isterbrat, the triple champion hurdler, of course, did take this in his novice days. So you need class, stamina and speed. Let's have a look at some of the leading contenders as far as the stats are concerned. Massini's Magua was the first horse beaten out of the first 2 last time to win since 1982. So Massini's Magua was the first horse beaten out of the first 2 last time to win since 1982. So generally, you need to be in form. Last 6 favourites have all been beaten, including Festival Bankers, Denman and Aaron Concerto. Well, Aaron Concerto, perhaps not the best horse for the stat from the point of view. He looked like a great big gangly chasing sort. And Denman, of course, he didn't run too badly. He did finish an honourable second. Only one winner since 1974 has been aged older than 6. Well, again, it's a novice hurdle, so perhaps not the biggest surprise in the world, that one. And 9 of the last 10 winners, though, contested a graded race on their previous start. So generally, top-class form needed to win this race. Here are some leading contenders. Aigle D'Or, Nicky Henderson, Breedsbreeze, who cost just about nothing for the best mate connections, Forpadydeplasterer, Tommy Cooper, just like that. Group captain, Alan King, and Trafford Lad for Dusty Sheehy. Group captain, of course, a classy horse on the flat. We're going to have a look at some leading contenders in the form guide. Also in the form guide, we're going to put in Elusive Dream, but that horse probably going to bypass the festival and go straight on to Aintree. We'll have a look at Breedsbreeze. We'll have a look at Group Captain, but let's start off with the leading Irish contender, or at least Nicky Henderson's contender, Aigle D'Or.
Final flight of hurdles now. Aigle D'Or at the last, jumped it lovely, and a crashing fall from a French horse in second place. That leaves Wind Instrument to come home in second position, who in turn is nicely clear of Inchlock. But it's a smart debut effort here for Aigle D'Or for the Nicky Henderson team. JP McManus's colours.
And that response was decisive, quite impressive as well. Settled in a matter of strides. Merlin's Magic second, Desert Inferno and Can't Buy Time. Breedsbreeze is good at the last. He's over clear. Merlin's Magic is weary. Will be pressed by Desert Inferno and Can't Buy Time for second. But Jim Lewis colours back in the winner's enclosure. An impressive performance for Breedsbreeze, who scores by as much as 10 to 12 lengths.
As they near the final flight, Jem Daly and Trafford Lad cleared of Decoy Daddy. At the last, on the near side, Trafford Lad. Jem Daly a slight mistake. Trafford Lad leads now by a length. Jem Daly in second, cleared of Decoy Daddy. Trafford Lad, driven on by Tom Doyle, goes a length and a half in front. Jem Daly is trying to rally, but as they go to the line, Trafford Lad will win it. Trafford Lad wins the Barry and Sandra Kelly Memorial.
Trafford Lad is still staying on with no fall, and at the last Van Almer is over in front of Woodbine Willie and Trafford Lad racing uphill towards the finish. Van Almer and Paddy Flood. Trafford Lad putting in a determined bid for Tom Doyle. They're inside the last 100. Van Almer all out to hold Trafford Lad as they hit the line. Van Almer just from Trafford Lad.
When shaken up, Busker Royal has got past Zilcash, but only marginally, as Elusive Dream bungles his way through the last. Busker Royal's gone through to second ahead of, in third place, Zilcash. But a great day for Ruby Wall. She's landed the 2 features, and in the colours which he wore aboard Denman at various stages last year, he lands the treble. Double on the day for Paul Nicholls. Elusive Dream wins well.
As they come down to the final flight in the Delight Novice, Forpadydeplasterer, Davy Russell, Cork All-Star Barry Geraghty trying to come back on the near side. Maiden Type Panzer Faller, Tranquil Sea third. It's Forpadydeplasterer now as they run up towards the finish. Forpadydeplasterer and Davy Russell gonna score for the Goat Racing Syndicate.
Coming to the last, Group Captain getting on top now, kicked a length and a half away. Group Captain coming over from Working Title, mistake by Overclear. They're pulling clear of Luxurix's Group Captain, driven away by 4 or 5 lengths now. The further they go, the better he looks up the final climb, and this is Group Captain's decent performance and possibly his best yet. Windsor easing up near the finish.
Well, did that make things clearer for you? I'm not so sure. Let's talk about the leading horse, Aigle D'Or, Nicky Henderson's horses, being in good form. He's a trainer who does tremendously well at the meeting, and I, for one, was very impressed with this horse at Lingfield.
Oh, I rode in the race at Lingfield.
Oh, did you?
And I saw him down at the start. Looked $1 million, very athletic, not over big, but just an athlete, and travelled supremely well through the race. And you always like to see a horse. It was on horrible ground that day as well, and as soon as AP's pushed the button, he's flown. He's just taken off like an aeroplane.
Timmy Murphy rode in the race as well. He rode Wind Instrument, that went on to win after that as well. And he came back and he was sort of talking to the owners, and they were sort of asking about their horse. And all he kept on was that Aigle. He said, that is a machine. He said, it's unbelievable, and just kept on about. It annoyed his owners because he was talking about this horse so much.
You just get a sense in a race when you ride in a race. They go a good gallop, and when you see a horse do that sort of thing, it takes your breath away, and you think to yourself, it's got to be something special. It can't be a fluke.
No. Okay. Bearing in mind what the ground's going to be at Cheltenham, we don't actually know, but it normally is just on the soft side of good. For Forpadydeplasterer, who's been winning well in Ireland, is the ground going to be too fast?
Is Paddy going to come unstuck?
Yeah. Oh no. I've got Matt Chapman in the booth. Be bad now. Can't you start as well?
I'll be honest with you. He's not a horse I know that well.
Yeah.
But
he's a galloper. He's a galloper, is what he is.
And like you say, soft ground's going to be the key.
Yeah.
Which you're probably not going to get.
Okay. Well, let's talk about some of the classy flat horse. What about Group Captain, Alan King's horse? Not everyone was impressed with him last time, but he comes into a race with a decent profile.
Horse I like.
Right.
Good flat pedigree. Stayer on the flat. 2 mile 5. Absolutely, I think 2 mile 5 is perfect.
That's the key to him, is it?
I think so. I think 2 miles. He's done his winning round Taunton, sharp track, but the further he goes in a race, the better he gets. Slightly if he was over 2 miles, just slightly worried he wouldn't really get into the race.
That's a plus then that he's managed to win round Taunton. You think he's going to be a better horse than
It'll have done him a lot of good. and you might think Taunton doesn't lend itself to Cheltenham, but you've got the run downhill to the second last at Taunton, which always helps. And I remember him pinging the second last, and he's the sort of horse that he can wind it up from a long way out. You can just see Chock getting busy on him from sort of a mile out and starting to wind the pace up, and that's what he wants. But he's got the flat nature and the speed.
Yeah, he's battle. Unlike some of these jumpers, he's battle hard, and he'll get down. They won't mind when he get chopped at the top of the hill. And I know exactly what you're saying. But what about familiar colours in the winners' enclosure? What about Jim Lewis's horse, Breedsbreeze? A lot of positive noises. Paul Nicholls really likes the horse. They didn't think he was going to be half as good as he is, but he's proving pretty decent.
Hasn't stopped improving all year. And obviously he won at Sandown and was quite impressive. Just like you said, nothing too flashy about him. He just gets the job done. He hasn't done what Aigle D'Or's done, a blistering turn of speed and beating horses out of sight. He doesn't win by too far. But like you said, it always helps. I don't know what you think, Luke, but he always helps to have a lucky owner on your side, and that's one thing Jim Lewis is.
Yeah, it certainly is. Well, we've already mentioned Forpadydeplasterer. What about another Irish horse, Trafford Lad? Again, when he was second at Naas when he was beaten that day, I'm just not so sure that on this, what is going to be, and we can almost say it is going to be good ground, isn't it? It might be on the soft side. These Irish horses, I think, it's much harder for them, I think.
Got tapped for toe, didn't he, last time out, and looked like for all instance he was going to be fourth, but stayed on and got very close.
Van Ormar beat him that day at
right.
Naas, and so he comes into it. Again, we don't actually know some of these horses. Hold'em looks like he's going to go for a handicap. Also, Leg Spinner looks like he might go for a handicap as well. What are we looking at here then? What's going to win?
Well, you're looking at Aigle D'Or. Hasn't run for quite a while. And like you say, John Joe's horse is just coming back into form. But I'm a big Group Captain fan. I just like the way he's progressed. He's had an unblemished prep He's done everything right, gone to Exeter, got the job done down there last time out. Second horse has won since. The form's looking strong, and just his progressive nature. I can't see him being out the frame.
OK, so you're going group captain. I'm going to go for the horse that Timmy Murphy said is a machine. I'm going to go for the favourite, Aigle D'Or.
At theraces.com, Cheltenham Preview, sponsored by Ladbrokes.com.